Hey guys, I'm Sarah and I'm here with my coffee about to make some Welsh cakes. Now this is a recipe that's been on my to-do list for absolutely ages and I've only just got around to it, and I'm being a bit brave because I've realised I've looked at a few different variations of this recipe and I've come to realise that no matter what I do, I'm going to offend somebody. This seems to be a very precious recipe. It's from the 19th century, and so with any recipes dating back way back when, it's going to be altered and adjusted over the years. There are a lot of different ways of doing this recipe and everyone will claim their recipe is the right version. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to guarantee mine is not the right version, but I'm having a crack. As I say, I've looked at a lot of different variations and I'm coming up with one that suits me and what I've currently got in my pantry. So the first thing I'm going to do is 2 cups of self-raising flour in a bowl. Self-raising flour may not be the most traditional of ingredients. If you don't have self-raising flour, you can just use plain flour and just throw a teaspoon of baking powder in with it and you'll be fine. Then we are going to add some fruit in here. Apparently this recipe has got quite a bit of history with it. I think they used to take it down for the coal miners and stuff, but housewives found it a good recipe to use up spare bits of dough and random bits of dried fruit. So a lot of people say you put currants in this. That's all good, you add currants. I've just got sultanas, so I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sultanas. Almost forgot the butter, hang on. Alright, so I'm using table spread, obviously. That would not have been a traditional thing. The very traditional thing would be to use shortening and or butter. I've seen some recipes use a 50-50 mix, sorry my scales are just playing up, of shortening and butter. Some people use just butter, some use just shortening, some just use good old margarine. I'm just going with that because it's what I've got. So we want about 115 grams. Put it in chunks because we're going to be rubbing this in. Just rub it between your, pinch it between your fingers and your thumb. Just keep going until it has sort of a nice crumbly consistency. Jamie Oliver did a version of this recipe and I thought, oh, I'll look up his one. And the comments section, there was a lot of comments saying things like, well, this isn't how you make Welsh cakes. But they didn't say how you did make them. So if anyone wants to fine tune or critique my recipe or whatever, I'm open to that. That's fine. I'm not claiming I'm doing this authentically. I'm claiming I'm doing this as I have seen many other people do it, taking a few modern shortcuts. So there we go, that's starting to look kind of nice and crumbly. So I'm going to go in now with my fruit, 1/2 cup of raisins, 3/4 cup of sugar. I think this is a variation that's been added over the years, but that's to add a bit of spice into it. Some people like to add mixed spice, which is like a mixture of cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, maybe a bit of ginger, something like that. I'm actually using allspice, which actually isn't a blend. I'm just adding maybe 1/4 teaspoon in there. Allspice is actually a berry in its own right. Dried and ground, unripe berry of sorts. But it's called allspice because it does taste like a blend of spices. So, mix all that together nicely. I'm feeling as though I need more fruit in this. Do you guys feel as though I need more fruit in this? I'm just going to add a little bit more. I mean, if I was adding the likes of currants, they'd be, you know, dispersed a bit more. Because sultanas are a bit bigger. I'm just, hopefully I did the right thing there. Oh, I'm playing with fire here, I tell you. So, just going to make a middle in the well. Make a well in the middle. I'm going to add an egg and a metric splash of milk. Just add a little splash and mix that up and then just slowly get the dry ingredients mixing in till it's all well incorporated. Go in with my hands now and make a lovely dough ball. Looking beautiful. I'm feeling good about this. So, slightly sticky. Not sure if it's meant to be. I don't think it is meant to be actually, but when I roll it out, I'm just going to put a little bit of flour down on the surface. Roll this out to about 1 centimetre thickness. This is meant to be, it's not quite a cake, it's not a scone, it's not a bicky, it's not really a cookie, it just is what it is. So, here we go, I've got a container, that's a circle. Okay, so, circle shape. Punch some of those out. Now these were traditionally meant to have been cooked on a griddle over a fire. However, again I'm taking liberties and using a non-stick frying pan. It's a case of put a bit of butter in the pan if it feels like they're going to stick. So I'm just going to put a bit of butter in there. I'm going to cook these for about 4 minutes on each side. We don't want it a scalding hot heat, so I don't know, medium-ish heat. Okay, that's going to be enough. Oh, I overdid it. Okay, do not turn it up too far. There, okay. Temperature I'm lower than that. I'm actually going to take that off the heat. Flip the rest of them. Right. Okay, now this batch, I'm leaving the heat down very low, and I'm actually pressing them down just a little bit flatter, so they're more like about 1/2 centimetre. Because the last batch, they burnt on one side. The other side looked pretty good, but they're still very smooshy in the centre, and I think they are meant to be quite soft in the centre. So that might be okay, but I want to get this right. Nice and low. I'd be tempted to crank it up. Look at that. I might flip these a couple of times. We'll just see how it goes. That's much more like how we want it to look. Lift up one end slightly. There we go. Okay, that was better. And I also learned you've got to be quick flipping them once they're ready, because how's that for a whole range of colours? Don't worry, next batch is perfect, I have faith. Here we go. See, I'm just going to use fingers now, I'm just going to be careful with it. I'm sure you'll find your own technique. Oh look, see, I think that one's pretty good. Alright, this is going to be the star batch now. I've got my technique now. Here we go, this is going to be amazing. Alright. Yes. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. See, I'm getting better as I improve, as my father-in-law likes to say. So you'll find the whole thing will be quite smushy apart from that bit that's touched the frying pan. However, the very middle of it is actually meant to stay quite kind of just semi-cooked. I think it is meant to be quite squishy still in the middle. Oh, look. See, I told you. I told you just to have faith, didn't I? I reckon that there. See, it's still kind of squishy in the middle. Ooh, hot, hot, hot. Still kind of squishy in the middle, but it's nice and crisp on each side. I reckon that's how you want it.
Yum. I can taste ginger.
There's actually no ginger. Oh, yum. But
I'm
there is
eating my
allspice. Just grab one.
Good. I like it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not
That little bit of eatable. High praise from the teenager.
It had the texture is kind of like a pancake somehow. The texture.
Yeah, that's probably the best description. It's it's kind of, you know, hard on the outside, smushy on the inside. It's not quite a cake. It's not quite a bicky.
It's like hard.
It's not quite a scone.
It's like squishy in the inside.
That allspice in there.
I mean, soft on the top.
That allspice in there is super yummy.
I like it. It's edible. It's good, and it's yummy.
I have also, I've seen people sprinkling sugar over these. I'm not sure they need it though. I think they're sweet enough without sprinkling sugar. These are awesome though. Absolutely. Give these a crack. Just don't burn the bottoms like I did. Keep the leave me a comment down below. I'm sure plenty of people will have opinions on this recipe. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We'll catch you next week. Let me know if you've got any other recipe suggestions. Alright, see ya.